Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode number 87. This will be episodes 915 and 916. Yeah, pretty much we're at the end of basically part 2 of the release of dub episodes for the Wano arc, and also the end of Act 1. Yes, 916 is officially the end of Act 1. Pretty much what happens in this episode? Well, we finally conclude Luffy's first round with Kaido. Yep, where he just runs out of gas. And then he's chained up and taken to Udon. And of course, he also knocks out some guys trying to pick him up with his Conqueror's Haki. Nostro sees this, and he's like, power's like Odin's. And he walks, next time we see him is basically when Kinemon is seeing his wife. They're like, oh, he has age a day, Shikor doesn't see him. And then, of course, he's Asmaru, and he goes off. Oh, don't worry, he'll be back. But in the case of the case of Nami, Usopp, Nami, Chopper, Carrot, Sanji, the 3 members from the Law's crew, and Shinobu. Yeah, the group that was living near the ruins of Owen's castle. Yeah, so Shinobu used her Ripple fruit to create a sinkhole to let her go in, though Chopper uses guard point for falling down. But everybody's, and of course, then we have Sanji lift up all the girls at no problem. But of course, basically, the guy's like, really? Really? Eventually gets out, no problem, of course, as they explain. And of course, they plan to do what Scientific will do next. Kaido, after he basically defeats Luffy, well, humiliates him anyways, and he decides, I'm going back to drinking. Yep, go back to drink some sake. By the way, Jack is not seeing these 2 episodes. Nope, he is absent for a little while. Do not know why he is absent, just that he is. Yep. So, then we see Zoro, Usopp, Frankie, and Robin make a face of the fact that Luffy's, Wano poster, seriously? Yeah, everybody made the reaction. Now, you might be curious though, do we have any debuts in these episodes? Well, yes. Roughly about 3 characters. First, though, we have Gerber, who's just seen episode 916. And he's seen 1 episode, and that's it for him. He's voiced by Dana Van Thomas. Yeah, I gotta get in a minute. We have Pudus, who's a guard at the Udon prison. Yeah, and apparently his whole thing with him is that he's one of the guards feeding a poised fish to Katsumatsu, the Kappa. Yep. And he's basically in, officially 1 episode because he gets stabbed by bones of a fish. And that's the last see of him. Yep. And of course, we usually all debut one other character, Samatosuke Yosuke. Yep, he makes his debut in episode 916. And they have not given an English dub actor for him yet, because he has not spoken yet. Yep. He basically briefly appears in an episode with Zoro, but this episode 916 was definitely his debut. Now, Luffy arrives at Udon. He's unconscious a lot of the way there. His sword he had was taken away from him. They apparently took time to put his part of his kimono back on. Yeah, they apparently put that back on him. And asked where the sword went, don't know. And they drag him to Udon, and apparently then when he gets there, he's bandaged up, which seems like a very odd thing for him to do, but he's also bleeding, so he falls down. He gives everybody a look. A very scary look, and then he's thrown into a cell. And his cellmate is Captain Kidd. Yep, Captain Kidd. A guy who at this point in this arc has only appeared for 2 episodes. Yep, Captain Kidd. Yeah, he spent a majority of the time, post-time skip, being a captive of Kaido. Yes, because he turned down Kaido's request to join his crew. Yep, that was the reason for him being here. Also, his middle arm has been taken away from him, so he's got a bandaged up arm. Yes, if you're curious though, what happened to his arm, you might ask, because pre-time skip he had both arms. Here he's got half of an arm. Well, there is kind of an explanation for that, and that is because he fought Red Hair Shanks. and lost. This apparently happened off panel for some reason. This is interesting to see. These two fight, and of course they lost, and he lost an arm. So now he's got basically to make some artificial arm. He has this for the rest of the whole arc. And of course, Luffy and him basically see each other. Now, Luffy's perspective, he has not seen Captain Kidd since Sabaody, which was 2 years part of this episode, which in terms of the anime was about almost a decade ago at this point in time. Yeah, not the Sabaody arc. That was the last these two ever saw each other in person. And this is the first time since then that these two have seen each other. Yeah. Because last I ever seen was back in the slave house where Luffy punched a celestial dragon. That was the last time as last time Luffy saw him. After that, I think he kept up with him, and here he is just in a cell with him. Though he's not as bad shape as, let's say, Luffy is. Luffy is basically heavy image here. Yep. And, yeah, he's basically their Udon, the Kamatsu is here. And, well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and pretty much the episode ends with basically the curtain, which basically just comes down and says, Land of Wano, Act 1 end. Which basically makes 916 the end of Act 1, like I said. Yep. And you're thinking, really? Yeah, really. Yeah, and if you're curious, though, when does the second act start up? I think it's like 916. Yeah, actually, it's 918 is when the second act begins. Mm-hmm. Yep, second act begins with 918. Yep, that is pretty much where the whole thing basically. Like that. Mm-hmm. Crap, my mouse started freezing on me. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, pretty much the way that's. Well, and with the curtain come down, and of course, this is the end of basically the dub reviews for now, until whenever they start release new dub episodes. Now, I have been thoroughly enjoying reviewing this particular episodes. Oh yes, I have enjoyed it. It has been really good for me. It's a breath of fresh air. I enjoy it. Yeah, good stuff here. Can't wait whenever release next episodes, which probably is going to start with 917. That's obvious. And they're probably going to conclude with 928. That is possible. And one thing I did read, though, is that apparently from 892 to basically 916, or basically it's like these two were just released all at once. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. I guess because this is all Act 1 of Wano. So I guess they decided to just release it right now. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Oh, in case I forget to mention this, like my mouse basically is not working properly. Now, if you're curious though, like how far did the arc get to? Well, we only got to 925. Yeah. Yeah, 925. I have 157. That's as far as we got with this damn thing. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Particular view. And, well, basically tomorrow, we return of Change Man. Yep. So yeah, that's it, particular view. Next up is going to be Comic Corner. It's back to the regular One Piece. Yep. Bye.